So in this video, we're going to pick up where we left off from, which was we've completed our floor plan, or at least the walls and some of the windows. I didn't put in the rest of the windows, but some of the windows. We got the porch in there. We have our layers created, but now we're at the stage where we need to start adding some of the detail inside of our drawing, inside of our blueprint. Such as bathroom fixtures, kitchen appliances, and doors, primarily doors. So we're going to talk about how we can get those objects in here. If we look at the floor plan that we're trying to replicate, you can see we have doors and all these openings. We've made openings for them. These doors, you remember, are dimensioned. Like this would be a 2-foot 6-inch door. This is a 2-foot 6-inch. This is a 3-foot accordion door, 2-foot 4, 3-foot side entry door, 3-foot front door. So basically, we're just going to try to recreate this. Now, we could draw these using just lines and arcs. That's all that they are, just lines and arcs. You know, this is a line at it looks like about 45 degrees. Some doors are at 30 degrees. Some doors are at 60 degrees. Some doors are at 90 degrees. It depends on the architectural drawing that you're actually working with and the standards. But in this case, these look like 45-degree doors. And we have an arc here that you can see it goes slightly past 45 degrees. And this is all arbitrary. One of the issues with architectural drawing is there's a lot of, let's say, artistic license that architects have and drafters that work in an architectural setting in terms of their designs. So for example, the kitchen appliances right here, right? The countertop and everything. This isn't an exact dimensioned replica of exactly what the kitchen is going to look like. This is just meant to indicate roughly where the refrigerator goes and roughly what the countertop is going to look like. The dotted lines represents overhead cabinets or cabinets underneath. Actually, in this case, it would be overhead cabinets. Same thing with the doors. Obviously, this is not an actual representation of a door. So there's a lot of artistic license, and I want you to have that same license with your drawings, okay, with this drawing in particular, okay? But there are some tools that we can use that can help us to make us or be able to draw faster and just more efficiently, okay? And also to standardize things. So so let's look at the doors, okay? Now there's different ways that we can get the doors in. Like I said, we could actually draw the doors if we want to, and in fact right now I'm going to switch to my door layer, okay? So this door right here is a 2-foot 6 door. It opens. This is where the hinge is. So I could draw a line at 45 degrees, and I have my polar tracking set at 45 degrees, and I could draw my line out here a distance of, well, I know this is a 2-foot 6 door, so I could draw it at 2-foot 6 tab, in this case 135 degrees, right? And then I could draw a circle, and I would want my circle to be centered here, and I'd want to stretch it out to right there, okay? And then I'd want to trim it. Now here we could do a couple different things. We could trim it, we could trim it like this and create that for our door. Or you could do it like they have it in the blueprint that we're recreating, where it goes slightly past. Now, how would we go slightly past? Well, there's a couple of different ways. We could do it like this and just kind of drag this out some distance, right? So how far do we drag it out? Well, you can see it reads 141 degrees. We could make it drag out some arbitrary distance, like we could just pick a distance. We could hit the tab key and go to some some known setting. There we go. It's kind of acting a little bit weird because this is a difficult way to do this. I would not recommend doing like this. If I was going to do this, what I would do is I would draw a line out here at maybe I'd go 5 degrees more. So I'd go, let's say 3 foot tab 140 because 135 was the other one. And then I would extend that like so, and then I'd erase that. Okay, so that would be how I would do that. That's, you might say that's a lot of work. For how many doors do I need to put in here? Remember that once you do a 2'6" door, right? This is 2'6". This is also a 2'6" opening. So I could just copy and use that as my base point and copy that here. Okay. So everywhere there's a 2'6" door, there's another one right here, right? So I could copy this and I could put this right here. Now, I need to rotate that, so I can rotate this and pick that base point, and I could rotate it around 180 degrees and go like that. Okay, so that's one way that we could do that. You could literally just draw the doors. And in some cases, that's really the only way to do it. So for example, this accordion door up here, right? This is a 3-foot opening, but the accordion doors, that's not something that we can just use a block to do that. So what I would do, it'd be, what's half of 3 foot? It's 1'6". So I would draw a line here at 45 degrees, 1'6", and I draw another line here at 45 degrees, 1'6", and then there's my my accordion door for that closet. Okay, so that's one way to get the doors in, just to literally draw them in. The other way to do this is to use blocks. Okay, now there's different ways that you can get blocks. If you watch the video on CAD blocks, JC goes through many different ways to do that. I'm going to show you the way that we can use it in this for this drawing. We're going to go and use the palettes. Okay, so we go up to View, and then right here we have Tool Palettes. So I'm going to bring up the Tool Palettes, and this is basically what they call a palette of blocks. Okay, all different kinds of blocks. We have constraint blocks, we have annotation blocks, architectural blocks, mechanical blocks, electrical blocks, civil engineering blocks, structural engineering blocks, different hatches, different table formats. Of course, we want architectural blocks, and you can see right here we have basically 2 different styles. We have imperial, or inches, and we have metric. All right. Now, here's door imperial. Now, this little lightning bolt means that it's a dynamic block, which means that it's a block that we can change after we insert it. Okay, so let me show you how we're going to use this, okay, because it takes a little getting used to. I will admit that it's not the easiest thing in the world to use, but once you get the hang of it, it does things automatically for you, okay? So in this opening right here, we need a 3-foot door. So I'm going to click on this, watch, click, and I'm just going to move in, right? I did not hold the button down, right? Let me do that again. Click, release. All right, and there's my door. All right, now it looks a little different than the other door. It looks a little bit different than the blueprint door that we're copying. So it's fine. It's fine. That's within your artistic license that you have for this project. Okay, but notice the orientation. It's oriented what we might call horizontally. The door that I need to put in here is going to be oriented vertically. So the way I want to do this is like this. First of all, I'm attached to the hinge side of the door, so I want to move it to the hinge side of the door. So I'm going to move it right there. Now it flipped, right? But that's not really going to help us. So the first thing I want to do is I want to attach the hinge. So I click and attach the hinge. Okay, it goes back to its horizontal layout. Now I want to rotate it. So I can use the rotate command up here, Or I could just click on the object and then click once and then right click and I can go to rotate. Now it says specify base point and I want to pick the hinge as my base point, and you can see I can rotate it right up there, which would be 90 degrees. So I can click right there. All right. Now that still doesn't fit right. So watch. I click on this, and because this is a dynamic block, I have a number of different grips that I can manipulate the block with. So let's look at these. So first of all, we have this. This is a flip grip. So if I click on this, it flips it. If I click on this, it flips it. This is another flip grip. Flip it, flip it. Okay. This is a grip to relocate the hinge. We don't need to. That's fine. This is a grip to shorten or extend the wall thickness. And again, we don't need to do that in this case because it's over a line. That's fine. This one allows us to set a different type of door. So watch. When I click on this, I can set it to open 30, which is at now, open 45, open 60, open 90, or I can get it to closed, right? I think I want open 45, right? That's kind of what it is in the book. I think in the manual, in the blueprint, I think so. And then finally, this one, this gets us allows us to shorten the opening. So right now it's set at 3'4". So I'm going to click and I'm going to move it. Now you see these little hash marks? Those are discrete settings for the door. So obviously I want a 3-foot door, so I click it right there and boom, there we go. And I can hit escape to get out of that. And now I have a door in there. Now, is that easier than drawing the door itself? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a pain because you have to insert it and then rotate it and then resize it. So I'm not going to say that it's easier. You know, you might want to just use this. But now you have another method. So let me do this again. Over here, we want a 2'4" door. Now, this orientation is going to be perfect. So I'm going to click once, and I'm not holding it down. I'm going to relocate and of course, it flips to the wrong direction. So I'm going to click on this and right-click and go to rotate. I'm going to pick on the hinge, and I'm going to rotate until it's right. And then I'm going to click on this, and I'm actually going to shorten this up. We have to shorten it up to like 4 foot, right? And then I'm going to shorten this up to 2'4". And then if I wanted to make this a 45-degree opening, I would click on that, okay? So those are your two options for getting doors in there. Just make sure you put it on the door layer and everything will be fine, all right? I don't care which one you put in as long as it looks similar to what it does in the blueprints. So whether you use the blocks, whether you make your own, it's up to you, right? This is kind of, this final project, as I said before, is more about you exploring your newfound skill set and kind of working within the realm of an architectural drawing, which we haven't done all class, right? So this is our first foray into that, so to speak. For some of the other ones, like this front door where there's a fixture, or there's a fixed side of it, that's just going to be a line. So what I would do is I would go over here and I would put my my door in there like this. Of course, it doesn't go in right, so we want to rotate it. And let's pick the hinge. And we're going to go like this. This is a 3-foot door, 3'4", so I'm going to go back to 3 feet. Everything else is fine. And then I want to finish this off by drawing a line. Now watch, I'm going to draw a line from the midpoint here on the door layer to right there, right? That's kind of exactly what it shows in the drawing. And then I need kind of a sill, right? A little stoop they have right there. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the windows, is I'm going to offset 2 inches so I can do this. You know, here, I'll show you another way to do it. Now, this should probably be on the door layer too, so I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to, yeah, let's see. We'll go to the line command. I'm going to position over here and track over 2 inches, and then I'm going to come off 2 inches. And then we're going to go all the way over here, and I'm going to track here like that. And you're thinking, well, wait a second, you ended too early. Yeah, I know, but now watch. I'm going to go and click on this and extend it 2 inches. See, I'm tricky. And then we're going to go like, whoops, and then we're going to draw a line, right? There we go. So there's the little front step for our door, and we're all good to go. Okay. Now, the last thing before I leave you on this video is we want to get some of the other elements in there. So the kitchen, excuse me, the bathroom fixtures. Let's look at that first. So let's see, we have the where's the toilets? Okay. So we have a toilet. You can see a toilet and a lavatory or sink right on this wall, right on the wall on the opposite side of the closet. All right, so I'm going to go to toilet, and I'm going to drag. Oh, holy cow! That's not what I want. Okay, remember it's a dynamic block. So watch. I can hit the down arrow, and oh no, not the down arrow. Sorry. I'm gonna just position this right like this. Okay, and then I'm going to click, and I'm going to hit this down arrow. Sorry, wrong down arrow. And now I can see, do I want a plan view? No, it looks like I want I want plan views, but I think I want just a round plan view. There we go. That's probably as close as I can get. The pull chain plan view, no, that's not right. Let's go to just the round plan view. And then this is the align. So I'm going to position it right there, and notice it goes right in there. And this, I think this is just eyeballed right there off of the side there. Okay. Now we want a lavatory in here. So let's see where that is. Some of this you might have to just make yourself. I don't see a lavatory in here. Right. So let's look at, no, that wasn't in toilet. I didn't see that. So, yeah, nothing in mechanical. Anything in electrical? No. Okay. So it looks like the architectural one, that's about all we're going to be able to use in there. Nothing else is going to help us there. This is all metric. Okay, so now we get to draw the lavatory ourselves. So again, we're gonna, whoops, you know what? I put that on the doors layer. I don't want that on the doors layer. What do I want that on? I want that on the, didn't I create a furniture layer? No, you know, I didn't create a furniture layer. That probably would be something that you should be creating. I'll put it for right now because I want it to be thin. I'm going to put it on the porch layer, okay? But that's something that you'll want to add in is a furniture or appliance layer. So we can draw the sink in there. You can decide how big you want the sink, right? And then we can draw. Whoops, I'm still on the door layer. I'm sorry. Let's go here. Porch. And we want let's put a round. We don't want it that big. There we go. Okay. The shower is very easy to do because we just want to get, let's go draw a line here at 45 degrees right there. And let's draw a line here at 45 degrees right there. And then we'll draw a line up. And you can see there's a nice little drain in there. It's interesting how detailed they get for some reason. We'll draw like that. And then we'll trim out all that stuff. We can make it look pretty. Probably need that a little bit larger, but you get the idea. And then for the kitchen appliances, right? We know that the kitchen countertops are usually 2 feet, so we can offset 2 feet and offset this wall and this wall. And nope, that's it. And we go like this. And this will put, again, this should not be on a thick layer, so I'll put it on the porch layer again. Just, you know, we can make a layer for that later. Draw that there, and then we have the hidden lines. Okay, so that's kind of the next thing that I wanted to talk about is some of the hidden lines in here. So, for example, there's a line separating the loft in here. This is going to be a thin line, so we could draw a line from here to here, okay? But notice it's broken, all right? So it's a thin line, but it's broken, and I haven't done any broken lines yet or hidden lines. So here's what you're going to do. We can, when we want to change the line type of a line, but keep it on a certain layer, right? We click on the object, and then the way we change the line weight is we go up here to properties. So that object that I selected, its property for line type is by layer. That means that it's set by the layer. Same with line weight, it's by layer. Color is also by layer. So what we want to do is remove the by layer part of this line by clicking it, selecting it, and then going up here and saying we want that to be, where is it? Hidden. Right? Now, it didn't break, but you remember how to control the breaks. LTS, LT scale. So let's try 12. There we go. All right, so an LT scale of 12 will work for that. All right, there's one other one up here. We have a closet door, a closet shelf. So again, I'll be on the porch layer, so I'm going to draw a line right from the midpoint. That's 12 inches. So we go like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this, let's go 2 inches, right? Like so. And that line right there, I'm going to change it to a hidden line. Where is it? Right there, hidden line. And there we go. Okay, and you can see that in the drawing. Okay, so so there is some artistic license that you're allowed in terms of how you draw appliances and doors and things like that. Okay, so you just make it look good. Use your best judgment on this. Make it look good. Where things are not explicitly dimensioned, you have the license and ability to get in there and kind of make it look according to what you would like it to look like. Just make sure that you follow the principle of line weights. Right? Color doesn't matter. Line weight is what's important. The only thick lines should be walls. Everything else, if you look in your drawing in the blueprint, everything else is a thin line. Okay, including dimensions and text. All right. So so that's it, right? In the next video, we will look at getting started on the second floor plan. I'll just get you going in that direction. And then in the last couple of videos, we'll talk about dimension styles and text styles. All right, I'll see you in the next video.